Okay, Joel, getting started on your ot6 here. Took it all apart. Some things I wanted to show you before I get started on the crown. And some of this might be really hard to see, but I don't know if you can see this right in here. That is where your stock was rubbing your barrel. So if it's wore off the finish, that's a pretty tight rub. And if you notice on the other side, it's not rubbing. So that's gonna throw your accuracy off without a doubt. And then your stock. So again, hard to see maybe, but if I can get that up there like that. So I pointed out to you, hey, there's your stock, it's cracked. Well, it goes all the way on the inside, all the way down on the rear tang. And if you look in here, there's a bunch of wooden glue. Someone's tried to fix this before. They even put a wood block there they glued in, all down in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave this out, not too much because it's thin up here, but just enough to clear the barrel so that way it doesn't hit the barrel anymore. And a lot of dirt and gunk down in there. I'm going to clean it all out, and then I will put bedding compound in there for you. And then back here in the back, again, it's all cracked. I'm going to have to get in there and clean it out because it cracks, as you can see, all the way down through there. I'm sorry, my camera. I get the shake, so I can't. Anyway, trust me, there's a bunch of cracks in there. This is quite obvious here. There's the plunger for the rear tang. So the only thing I know to do is drill this hole right here. Drill that hole right there out, just a touch. And when I bed it, I'll put bedding compound, epoxy in there, and I'll scrape this out too. I'll drill that out just a bit and put in some bedding compound there, hopefully to hold it together a little bit better. But it's going to help immensely just having this bedded, because it'll spread out some of that recoil on the stock, so yeah, I'll try to maybe even find a sleeve or something and I can slide down in there in these two holes, just to make it a little bit stronger. The other thing I'm going to do is trying to see if there's a better angle to see the cracks, but not really. Yeah, see, you can see the crack right there. So it's all the way through. It's split all the way through. And that's going to wreak havoc too on your accuracy and precision. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm a member of several forums, and I will see if I can get another stock that's in better condition, that's not all busted, but it'll look exactly like this. And I'll let you know, but it might behoove you to just get a new stock if it's available without it being all busted. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I am going to do your muzzle crown, and I'm just going to videotape me doing it so you can see how it's done. Might find it interesting. So bear with me while I get all this camera stuff set up. It's like 10 o'clock at night, so I have it been organized getting all this earlier today. All right, so that one I need to switch the camera back. Well, I'll do it like that. Bear with me. There's a way to switch your camera from the front to the rear, but I don't know how. All right. All right. That should be good enough view, I think. I'm gonna put this down in there. I'm gonna rag. So the trick to this is to try to keep this as straight as possible. And what I've learned is by having this up against the vise and this board here, it keeps it pretty straight. There we go. Let me see if the camera's on there. Bunch of shells. Okay, so I'm gonna loosen this camera out and come up a bit. So let me show you what the muzzle looks like first. You can see it's might be hard to see down in there, but it's pretty jagged. So anyway, we're gonna get that taken care of for you. I don't know why this camera's doing that. There. All right. Hopefully that'll work. So first thing we do is we got to stick this pilot down in there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of cutting wool on it just to keep it from gouging everything. So you take this gauge here and you measure it to be the same height. And then it's got a little notch, and you just tighten it up. What that does is it acts as a pilot. Put some more cutting oil down around it. And I take this right here, put some cutting, this is the cutter, put some oil on it. Go. You take this tool right here, knock over, and then this is spring operated. So you put some spring tension, and then you start going in circles. What this is going to do is shave that crown down. I always like to let it up. Take it up a bit, see how it's looking. Yep, a little bit more oil there. Cutting oil really makes a difference. Once you check it 2 or 3 times, you don't have to check it like every couple turns. After a while, you can kind of tell if it's cutting square. And I like to check it a couple of times. Normally, people would use a lathe for this, but this is what I did when I was starting out. So yeah, that's getting there. A little bit more cutting oil, of course. So here I'll just go a little bit more. And once we get this perpendicular, perfectly flat, I'll switch to an 11-degree crown, and that'll help protect the end of the crown a bit. Yep, it's looking good. Just takes a little bit of time. It's not hard. I've done tests where I have a new gun, whether it be a Remington or a Savage, and I'll shoot like 5 or 6 5-round groups, get an average. I'll come in and cut a new crown, shoot 5 or 6 5-shot groups, take an average. Most of the time, there's an improvement. I'm not saying a huge amount, but there is some improvement. Yeah, Dave Manson used to make some pretty good stuff for kind of the hobbyist gunsmith. You could true up some actions and things like that. He might still sell them, I don't know. I've had this particular tool for probably 15 years. What I'm trying to do is take this down to get it past maybe some of the old barrel crown area. Just about there. Yep, just about there. that'll probably do it. Yeah, see the strands started getting longer. So it's definitely cutting into some of the fresh stuff. So I'll probably do one more just to make sure. Again, might be hard to see on camera. I hope this is coming through. I wish I was better at on this camera stuff. Who knows, that camera might be all unfocused just because of my hand going back and forth further and closer. Yep, that's good right there. Nice and fresh. It's down past the old crown. No. I always like to clean this off as soon as I can. Just keeps that cutting oil from getting all gunked up on there. That's why they still look new after 15 years. All right. Yeah, that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is go to the 11-degree crown. Make sure I got the right number. Yep, 11 degree. Same thing. Get some cutting oil. So this is going to go kind of concaved. And again, it just kind of helps protect it. Some say it makes it more accurate or precise. I don't know, I've had flat crowns, 11-degree crowns, sporter hunting type crowns, just like what this one had. I don't know, maybe, I can't tell the difference. Maybe I'm just not that good of a shot. But, yep. Getting there. Yep. Sorry if you find this boring. I just wanted to show you how it was done because you had asked. The strings are getting longer. One or two more times, and that'll be it for the 11-degree. I'm not pushing down super hard, but I'm pushing down enough that I can feel it grinding away, cutting away. Yep, that's some nice long strands there. I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay, so what I got next is the outside edge of this is kind of sharp. So you put this on it. Again, a little bit of cutting oil. And this will take that outer edge, sharp edge off. And this is very few turns. You'll feel it lighten up right there. All right. Okay, so now loosen this up. Just a couple of turns. Comes right out. So the brush pulls out all the bad stuff. And then just clean it off. That is all she wrote. Okay. Now I'm gonna shake out this shirt. Okay. Don't want to drop your gun. 1 second, and I'll show you what this looks like. Okay. Get this wiped up here. Let me see if I can get this on video. Yeah. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll put this back in the vise here. Then I'll take it out of the phone here. Sure, you can tell the difference. And before I shoot this, I'm going to clean the barrel out anyway, so. And I also take some steel wool and polish the front of that barrel. But you can actually see the lanes and grooves now if you look. All right, that's all she wrote.